We have just released a new version of Benchtest yesterday. This year I added what I call a standard test, which consists of a predefined set of tests for locally open file, for a single client connecting to FileMaker server, and also for running multiple concurrent clients connected to the same server. What's important to note here is the scoring mechanism. So how many times your configuration is faster than the reference configuration. We are getting a pretty high amount of data already, so when I go back to Benchtest, there are some additional features here which I added. Detailed information about the environment that you ran the test on. One case where this is especially useful is when running the test over a FileMaker server running on cloud. When you start running a test that includes quite CPU intensive tasks, it starts very fast. Temporarily it gives you a high amount of resources, but it costs you what they call CPU credits. And as soon as you consume all the CPU credits that you collected by not utilizing that maximum performance, the performance of that cloud server goes down dramatically. Here I used perform find and get and show. Get and show is a test that simulates virtual list usage. You basically minimize the impact of latency with this. Ethernet versus Wi-Fi. Don't leave Wi-Fi enabled unless you need it for a specific case, because if you disable it and your Ethernet stops working, you will know it. If you keep Wi-Fi enabled and your Ethernet stops working, you will probably not notice anything except the decreased performance. We had a client contacting us needing help after switching from FileMaker 16 to FileMaker 18. And what they reported to us is that when the number of connected clients exceeded 100, it started to be extremely slow. We tried to examine what was happening there, and the first thing we noticed was that startup restoration was enabled. So we suggested disabling startup restoration. We also checked the cache size and other factors, but it turns out that specifically the startup restoration was that factor that was getting the FileMaker server to its knees when the number of concurrent connections exceeded 100. The other thing that when you go through that experience of converting, switching from SpiderWeb to Encore BUI at some point, after a few months, you may find your solution going back to the old slow days, or even worse. As far as it's hard to switch from SpiderWeb to Encore BUI, it may sometimes be even harder to maintain the narrow Encore BUI structure. If you create a new layout that serves a new purpose, and instead of reusing the same table occurrence group, you create a new one and keep the maximum number of table occurrences in a single group at low values, that's the kind of maintenance for the structure you want to keep, because that will keep the performance at the similar level even as your solution grows.